I'm here, but I'm not here. Hey guys, Comic Relief Crusader here with some fun news today. When it comes to famous Toho films, you can't help but think of anything but, Godzilla and Mothra and Rodan. And it's all due to a man by the name of Ishiro Honda. And, we got a lot to thank for because we wouldn't have the plethora of fantastic Godzilla movies stomping through Tokyo the way it's supposed to be. What a lot of people probably don't know is that Honda also directed, you could say, a trilogy of kind of like disconnected film. What he would call the Transforming Humans series. And this is no different that's coming up because there's some news coming up from the Hollywood Reporter on one of the movies that he did so many years ago back in the 1960s. And this would be coming out from Netflix soon, The Human Vapor. So the Hollywood Reporter is reporting Netflix partners with Japan's Toho to reboot the classic sci-fi movie, The Human Vapor, which is kind of exciting when you really think about it. So the Human Vapor, in case none of you know about this, it's basically about a librarian that is subject to human experiments, which goes horribly wrong, of course, and turns them basically into human vapor, right? And so he uses his newfound abilities to rob banks and fund his the career of his girlfriend, who is a beautiful dancer, by the way. And the Human Vapor is, he's a bad guy, right? He's ruthless in his quest to get money and kill anyone that stands in his way, especially the police and stuff like that. And he soon becomes Tokyo's most wanted criminal. But can anyone stop the Human Vapor? Well, if you don't know or haven't seen really anything about this movie, here is a trailer from 1960s that kind of explains it all.
The Human Vapor. The strangest science fiction story ever told about man's deadliest enemy, the human vapor. Never before a power so dangerous. Never before an enemy so indestructible. Nothing on earth could stop him. The Human Vapor, half beast, half man.
Dr. Sano had said I'd be a Superman. Instead, he had created the Human Vapor.
No prison bars could keep him in. No door could keep him out. The Human Vapor slips through every crack, through every opening, to terrify, to destroy, to kill. See the Human Vapor transform before your eyes from human form to vapor nightmare. The Human Vapor brings you a haunting legacy of fear, causing panic and riot and devastation. See this weird story of a superhuman power that menaces the world. Who can kill like an inhuman monster, but who loves like a man? The Human Vapor will come to life and bring you the most terrifying experience in scientific history. The Human Vapor. Is he man or astral man? The Human Vapor in living color on the giant screen. The Human Vapor.
So the article basically says this from the Hollywood Reporter about the Human Vapor. And it reads, Sci-Fi, Japanese sci-fi classic The Human Vapor, directed by Godzilla, Ishiro Honda, and released back in the 1960s, is set to receive a contemporary reimagining as a live-action series courtesy of Netflix and Toho Studios. The remake project marks the first time the global streamer and Japanese studio giant are collaborating. So the series is being co-helmed by Korean-Japanese creative team. Korean filmmaker Yeon Sang-ho, who did Train to Busan, Hellbound, Parasite the Grey, is serving the film's executive producer and co-script writing, while Japan's Shinzo Katayama, who was in Missing Siblings of the Cape and Disney's Grand Ball, will direct. Japanese star Shun Oguri, who was in Godzilla vs. Kong, is also in it, and Yu Aoi, wife of a spy, will also co-star in the series. So the third and final film of Toho's Transforming Humans series is a cult of sci-fi classics from the 1950s and the 1960s. The Human Vapor tells the story of a man turned into a gaseous mutant by radiation experiments gone awry. Then he uses his unique powers to rob banks, terrorize society with murderous crimes, while financially supporting his a struggling dancer he admires. Because man's got to get in his lovin' for his woman, right? So the film is considered an early masterpiece of the sci-fi thriller genre, renowned for innovative VFX and exploration of power structures and societal oppression. The new series will transplant the tale to present-day Japan while leveraging state-of-the-art special effects to revive the story's iconic kaijin, or humanoid monster. So Yeon says he was approached by Toho to remake a film from the studio's Transforming Humans series, and the Human Vapor most grabbed him. So he also goes to say it is a 1960s film, but its sci-fi expressions are still impressively skillful, he explains. I believed that if it were reborn with modern visuals, it would truly be fascinating. And you know what? I can't argue with that whatsoever. There's just something about those cheesy 1960s Japanese movies. I love them to death. I just love them. So Toho put Katayama forward as a potential director for the project, and the duo then spent about 3 years along with co-writer Ryu Yong-jae envisioned the update's story, and added Katayama, I knew about the Human Vapor but hadn't seen it until recently. Watching it, I was intrigued by its blend of human drama and romantic elements, despite featuring an absurd creature like the Human Vapor. I saw the potential to modernize this classic special effects piece with today's special effects CG and incorporate human drama to make it a very compelling work. So both Yun and Katayama say fans should expect the series to take at least a year to be ready for the release, but they teased that they have received special permission to shoot in locations, in Japan obviously, where filming is usually not allowed. So this might be actually a really big thing, considering that. Katayama also added, I believe we will deliver visuals that have never been seen before. And after striking out a dominant position in the bankable Korean film and TV world, Netflix has spent the past 2 years attempting to leverage the Japanese industry's latest live-action entertainment potential. And it's kind of hard to argue with that. I know that, Netflix hasn't had a lot of wins, but they have had some wins when it's come to adapting other Japanese properties, like One Piece, for example. So there you go. If you're wanting some more Japanese live action film awesomeness, and you love some of these cheesy 1960s sci-fi thriller movies from Japan that isn't Godzilla, well, then this actually might be something to check out. So here's hoping that this turns out really, really well. I'm looking forward to it. As for me, I am the Comic Relief Crusader. If you like what you see, please hit the bell. Hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And stay tuned for all the live action shows that we have early and later on in the week as well. So this is the Comic Relief Crusader. Don't disappear.